What if we tell you that there is a Batman weapon that actually exists in real life? And there is a gun that blasts 1.62 million rounds per minute. There's only one place where you can find these insane weapons: the U.S. military. 10. Golf ball grenade. Although not in use anymore, the V-40 fragmentation grenade was utilized by the U.S. military from the 1960s until the 1980s and was defined by its compact size. The grenade was the size of a golf ball. In fact, soldiers used to relate to it as a mini frag. The grenade was 2.5 inches high and 1.5 inches in diameter. Despite its tiny size, the V-40 used a safety bar and a lever just like a standard-sized grenade, and it packed a deadly punch. The golf ball grenade was deemed lethal up to a radius of 5 meters and dangerous up to 300 meters from its impact point. However, this weapon was ultimately discontinued because the weapon's small size made them unsafe for soldiers. The short fuse time and miniature pins made the mini frags challenging to handle and prone to going off without warning. 9. The corner shot rifle and grenade launcher. One of the biggest issues facing soldiers in combat has always been seeing and firing weapons around corners. This is remarkably tricky in modern warfare that often takes place in urban settings. Nevertheless, there is now a weapon in use by U.S. soldiers that enables them to both see and fire around corners. Called the corner shot, the gun comes in two versions: a semi-automatic pistol and a grenade launcher. A hinge located in the center of the weapon enables the barrel to pivot to the left or right. At the same time, the handle and trigger remain fixed and stationary. A camera is affixed to the weapon and allows soldiers to see what they are shooting at around corners. The corner shot is shown to be so popular that militaries and law enforcement agencies in 15 countries are now using them. Number 8. Phaser. The Personnel Halting and Stimulation Response Rifle, or PHASR, P-H-A-S-R, is a non-lethal weapon created to disorient and stun enemies rather than kill them. Phew! A light-based gun, the PHASR has been made for use by both soldiers and U.S. police. The gun temporarily blinds enemies with concentrated laser beams. The laser lights, which serve at alternating wavelengths, assist in disorienting people who look at them, rendering them incapable of standing, let alone fighting. The good news is that this weapon's laser light does not inflict any permanent damage to the person's eyesight. 7. The active denial system. Another non-lethal weapon created to help disperse crowds, the active denial system sends an invisible electromagnetic radiation beam that creates a burning feeling on people's skin, sending them in a run of fear. Called the goodbye effect by senior military men and a heat ray by scientists, the active denial system heats up water molecules on a person's skin to 130 degrees Fahrenheit from a distance of 500 yards. Provocative in some circles and dubbed a form of torture by some people, the active denial system has proven highly effective. Security experts expect that the system will finally be used alongside other non-lethal crowd control methods such as water cannons, tear gas, and rubber bullets. 6. Digital revolver. The Armatix digital revolver looks like a gun out of a science fiction movie, and it is. A version of it was featured in one of the James Bond movies. This futuristic pistol got a digital safety mechanism. It only disables if the operator is also wearing a unique wristwatch that sends the gun's unlock signal. The wristwatch itself only becomes active when the user unlocks it with their fingerprint. This means that the weapon can only be fired by the owner, preventing the gun from being used by people who can steal it. It also indicates that the revolver cannot be applied against its owner. Many gun experts declare that this approach is the way of the future and a great means of ensuring gun safety. We'll see how widespread this digital revolver gets later. 5. The railgun. Quake Champions becomes too realistic. The U.S. Navy is creating an electromagnetic railgun that will fire a projectile faster than the speed of sound. Officially named the 8 megajoule electromagnetic railgun, this shipboard weapon can shoot at Mach 8, which is 8 times quicker than the speed of sound, or 5,000 miles per hour. What could such a weapon even be used for, you reasonably ask? The Navy plans to use it to guard warships and as anti-aircraft and anti-missile weaponry. Yet, so powerful is the railgun that it can also launch a spaceship into orbit. Plus, the railgun can also fire on a whole battlefield from offshore. Hilarious fact, the railgun is powered internally by a flux capacitor, which was the name of the gadget that powered the DeLorean time machine in the film Back to the Future. A case of science meeting fiction. 4. Quantum stealth. Remember the movie Predator? How the Predator could use invisible stealth technology to blend into the jungle environment around him. How when he moved, it appeared like the jungle itself was moving. Well, that technology is now in the superior stages of development by the U.S. military, called quantum stealth. This tech camouflages people by changing light around the object it is hiding. And the result is that people and things literally turn invisible to the naked eye. The images of quantum stealth presented on the internet are absolutely freaky. The hope is that the invisible cloaks given by the quantum stealth technology will let soldiers infiltrate enemy territory without being detected and launch surprise attacks and carry out assassinations. Sounds pretty fantastic, but the future is here, and this technology is accurate. 3. Metal Storm. It's called the Metal Storm. This Australian-made, US-funded behemoth of a cannon uses the same idea behind a Roman candle to fire round after round of its 36 barrels. The prototype managed to achieve a maximum fire rate of 1.62 million rounds per minute. It fired 180 rounds in a 0.01 second burst, and at its peak it can send literally a wall of 24,000 9mm rounds moving at Mach 5 that can devour any armor it faces. In 2007, the U.S. Navy declared that it would buy the Metal Storm grenade variant. But shy of that, nothing. The first prototype was designed in June 1997. 20 years have passed now, and it's never been used in combat. Outside of legal issues, there are some obvious downsides: cost and weight. Its applications as is are very circumstantial. It's cumbersome and requires plenty of prep time to set up effectively just for a single use. Then there's the crazy amount of money required to fully load it, only to have it waste almost all of its ammunition. 2. Tactical Assault Light Operator Suit, TALOS. With the help of numerous universities and high-tech companies, the U.S. Special Operations Command has created a Tactical Assault Light Operator Suit, TALOS, for soldiers to wear in combat. It is naturally a robotic exoskeleton that soldiers wear when fighting in a combat zone. This magic suit lets soldiers withstand bullets and fire, monitors their vital signs, and sees it in the dark. The Pentagon has even named the project the Iron Man suit. There are some reports that the next-generation combat suit will be made of liquid metal that can solidify into an impervious suit on command. The suits are also supposed to increase each soldier's strength and do pretty much everything but fly. A couple of prototypes of the suit have been developed. In February 2019, it was announced that the TALOS supersuit concept, as initially envisioned, was unfortunately not feasible. Number 1. Vomit gun. Remember the sick sticks employed by police in the movie Minority Report? The sticks would make anyone they touched instantly vomit. Believe it or not, a real-life vomit gun has been designed. In 2007, the U.S. Navy cooperated with Invocon to develop a weapon that uses radio frequency to affect a person's sense of hearing and balance. Anyone caught by the vomit gun instantly experiences severe motion sickness and throws up. Simultaneously, the Department of Homeland Security's Science and Technology Department engaged a company called Intelligent Optical Systems to develop an LED incapacitator. It emits a rapid pulse of different colored lights to cause dizziness, headaches, and vomiting. The vomit gun is considered a non-lethal means of overcoming people and gaining the upper hand on enemy combatants. As with many weapons in our video, the vomit gun seems to be a case where science fiction has become a science fact.